sun shining bright. Yeah, that dome, yes, it's pretty cool how we are literally around ground zero basically.
Yeah.
And this dome was literally around the center of the detonation. And amazingly, it still stands, partially, but it still stands. Like this thing is just absolutely amazing. Honestly, it feels so surreal to be here, and I'm so glad I am. I'm so glad I am. Look at these palm trees here.
You made my day, man.
Yeah. So you're happy I made that choice to go to Japan and we get to see this? Yes.
What's the best part about seeing this? Seeing you.
Yeah, basically. Seeing me on that day. There's a little stone right here. I think oh yeah, there's still a bit of writing on there. I think there was some writing more on there. Maybe it might have faded away or something. But yeah, look at this this dome right here. The river right beside it. So it was August of 1945. I know that for sure. We all learned that in history at our school, basically. This thing was one of the most important reminders. It's one of the very prominent things you've seen in the atomic bomb aftermath footage. Other people say it was carpet bombed or something, but yeah. See how resilient Japanese people are. It's like a lot of countries after war. Syria is actually very resilient. Yemen after war is actually very resilient, and so is Japan. All right. This place, and everything we see around it just stands as the testament of our resiliency. Basically, yes. You can see a bit of the rubble is just standing in there, but it's just kept like this, a bit maintained by the bars. But see, you can see there, like, but yeah, could you imagine standing just basically anywhere and being instantly vaporized, and you just never knew it, and you just never knew it until you come to the afterlife. And that's basically what it is. Alarm system in place, do not enter. Makes sense. We do pay our respects, so should not have some dumbass vandalizing such an important place. It's a shame with a lot of abandoned places that end up getting vandalized, which is pretty disrespectful. Absolutely is disrespectful to vandalize such buildings. Thankfully, this thing has kept itself to being preserved, because it is a very, very, very important monument piece right here in Hiroshima, Japan. As we see it, as we see this, see the stones. It kind of feels relevant now as it is then. War is looming with the Russia versus Ukraine situation. I don't take any side. I don't like Putin. I don't like Zelensky. But yeah. As you can see, like, and you see all this stuff being built around here. A lot of stuff have been rebuilt quite after the war. This one still stands, and it's amazing. It's amazing how this still stands even after the brutal explosion that killed hundreds of thousands, and hundreds of thousands more died after radiation. World War II, before all this, Franklin D. Roosevelt passed away, so Harry S. Truman was the president of the United States, and Franklin D. Roosevelt was the president of the United States for like the longest time. I don't know how, but basically, yeah. But yeah, even well. And then the threat of Cold War just almost immediately hits us after World War II ended. It was a pretty hard time to go through. Yeah, in the 50s there were like nuclear bomb tests, which is like a drill, which back then they just hide under the seats at a school, which is not a good way to survive one. No, they basically have nuclear bomb shelters, basically. But yeah, the hall before the building, as you can see, and then the hall upwards partial destruction, as you can see. It says Hiroshima Peace Memorial, Genbaku Dome, World Heritage Site. Notice that they said Peace Memorial and not War Memorial, alright? Notice that they said that, alright? It's never healthy to have wrath or envy, basically. But yeah, U.S. President Dwight David Eisenhower actually mentioned that the Japanese were ready to surrender, and that the nukes weren't necessary to begin with, basically. Read some stuff. The building was known as the A-bomb dome, was designed by Czech architect Jan Letzel, completed in April 1950. The Hiroshima Prefectural Commercial Exhibit Hall soon became a beloved Hiroshima landmark with its distinctive green dome, while its business functions included commercial research and consulting services and the display of sale of prefectural products. The hall was also used for art exhibitions, fairs, and cultural events. Throughout the years, it took on new function and was named Hiroshima Prefectural Products Exhibition Hall. Then the Hiroshima Prefectural Industrial Promotion Hall. As the war intensified, however, the hall was taken over by the Shikoku Public Works Office of the Interior Ministry, the Hiroshima District Lumber Control Corporation, and other government agencies. At 8:15 a.m. August 6, 1945, an American B-29 bomber carried out the world's first atomic bombing. The bomb exploded approximately 600 meters above and 160 meters southeast of the Hiroshima Prefectural Industrial Promotion Hall, ripping through and igniting the building, instantly killing everyone in it. Because the blast struck from almost directly above, some of the center remained standing, leaving enough of the building and the iron frame to be recognizable as a dome. As the war, these dramatic remains came to be known as the A-bomb dome. For many years, public opinions about the dome remained divided. Some felt it should be preserved as a memorial to the bombing, while others thought it should be destroyed as dangerously dilapidated structure, evoking painful memories. As the city was rebuilt and other A-bomb buildings vanished, the voices calling for preservation gathered strength. In 1966, the Hiroshima City Council passed the resolution to preserve the A-bomb dome, which led to a public fundraising campaign to finance the construction work. Donations poured in with wishes from the peace from around Japan and overseas, making the first preservation project possible in 1967. Several preservation projects have since been carried out to ensure that the dome will always look as it did immediately after the bombing. In December 1986, the A-bomb dome was registered on the World Heritage List as a historical witness, conveying the horror of the first use of a nuclear weapon, and as a world peace monument, appealing continually for lasting peace and abolition of such weapons. To help protect the dome, the national government designated the area around it to be a historical site under the Cultural Properties Protection Act, with a larger area in and around Peace Memorial Park as set aside as a buffer zone. And you can basically see all the other translations. Well, first you have the Japanese, and then you have the Chinese, and then you have the Korean. And some of these witnesses are still around today, basically. And pretty surreal to see one, actually. But yeah, as you can see, gonna show you all the sides of this dome, by the way. So yeah, unfortunately, tensions around the world are still being felt even after 1991, after the Soviet Union fell. There's still a lot of tensions. Russia tried to take over Ukraine, and China would try to take over Taiwan, basically. And yeah, it's... regardless if nuclear bombs were ever used in World War III or not, it's still gonna be... there's still gonna be a lot of damage, trust me. World War III would definitely feel like the end of the world, regardless of what we use in this situation. Like, it's getting close to that, but I'm saying this now as an important, relevant reminder to just basically everything, the tensions and all this just going on. And honestly, I feel like I came here at the right time, basically. Came here at the absolute right time, and yeah. Yeah, as you can see the view from all the sides of the dome, and that's what I'm going to show you. All the sides from this dome. So yeah, it does feel surreal to me that I'm actually there. I'm actually at one of the most important, most historical artifacts, monuments, basically anything. Like really, I definitely wanted to go there. It's definitely part of the Japan trip, and I'm glad I did. Yeah, there was another atomic bomb in Nagasaki as well. They had the bombs Fat Man and Little Boy. And yeah, as you can clearly see from all sides of the building, you can clearly see this important structural remnant, although partially collapsed, and every single person inside that building when the bomb dropped has died, by the way. And like, these bombs were so powerful, so many people just vanished instantly, just leaving behind their shadow. Like, could you imagine that? Could you imagine if that happened to you? Could you imagine that? That you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even know, basically. You wouldn't even know. Oh, look at that little hornet here. But yeah, we serve this. We look back not with anger, but with a reminder, a historical reminder, and a very, very important one. So yeah, you can basically see through basically all sides of the dome now. All sides of this dome. And yeah, it truly is a sight to behold. It truly is. Like, imagine being in any situation whatsoever within that blast radius. What's more horrifying? Vaporizing instantly, or dying from the radiation poisoning after that? Other cities were firebombed they were pressured into surrendering, basically. And a lot of people were struggling to get food. Anyone who owned the farmlands just couldn't give them the food, or they just don't want to give them the food, basically. But yeah. They were getting sick. They tried everything they could to survive. Anyone seen the film Grave of the Fireflies? Very, very sad movie. Very, very fantastic. One of the best war films to have ever been made. I'm gonna end this off here, but yeah, I just set this off as an important reminder for everyone.